Arvind Murali, thank you so much for joining me on the Data Strategy Show. 66 questions, Data Leaders Unplugged. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? How are you doing, Arvind?
I am fantastic, Samir. 66
Great.
is a lot of questions.
Oh, it will
But
fly
yes, it
by.
is going to be a
Believe me.
mouthful.
It will fly by. It will
We'll
fly by.
see.
Hey, listen, Arvind, tell
Sounds
us a little
good.
bit about yourself.
So I'm a chief data strategist in Proficient. What that means is I run our data strategy group. Proficient is a digital transformation leader with about 6,000 colleagues now. We've been in the industry for more than 20 years. I lead our enterprise architects and our data strategists that are passionate talking data.
Great. Wonderful. So this is about you, 66 questions, and here we go. And listen, Arvind, how do you start your day?
I wake up, I brush my teeth, and then I get ready for work.
Do you have
I'm
any
just kidding.
kind of, process to set
I
yourself
have
up?
I have a whiteboard. I write before I wrap up the prior day. I write a set of things to do, if you will. So when I come in the morning, I look at my whiteboard, which is right there, and I see what's out there for today, and I focus on those the first half of the day before I get to the next half.
Yeah. So you know exactly what you're focusing on and what you need to do, your priorities. What would you say is your biggest weakness?
Overdoing things a little bit. I sometimes commit to too many tasks, both personal and professional. That stresses me out a little bit.
That is pretty stressful. What would you say is your biggest strength?
I think knowing my subject matter, again, personal and professional, whatever it may be. If I get into a topic, it's usually because I know that topic and I love it. I'm passionate about it. When I'm passionate about something, it tends to show in my work, which is fantastic.
Which is the right way to be. What's the biggest learning experience you've ever had?
Professionally,
Both.
the biggest learning. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll start with profession. The biggest learning experience is there's so many people and materials out there that says data adds business value.
Yep.
It is very, very, very difficult to do in action.
Yep.
All right. Easy to say it.
Yep.
So for me, the biggest lessons learned is how do I speak that business language in the context of data?
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Personally, for me, it's this work-life optimization. I don't want to say work-life balance. So I play cricket quite a bit.
Oh,
how
really?
do I go, play cricket? Oh yeah, a lot.
In the US? That's
Versus
great.
balance in the US.
Hey, fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. How do I do that work-life optimization? I take my kids to everywhere they go, their classes and everything else. So you have to learn to optimize, right? That's I think the biggest lessons learned. I'm still learning. But the good news is Wi-Fi is everywhere, so you can work from anywhere.
True.
So those are all some good signs.
Batsman or bowler?
All-rounder.
Oh, all-rounder. Wow. Okay.
Spin bowler, two-down batsman.
Spin bowler. Hey, what's your highest score? Batting.
82 this season. T20. So 82
okay, 82 in a T20. Well done. And what's the name of your team?
Frisco Titans.
Frisco Titans. Do you know what? When I lived in the States, up in Washington Heights, I lived in New York. They used to have cricket played in Washington Heights. And I lived in Manhattan. I went up there to see it one day. I was absolutely astounded that there were people in America playing cricket. It was great. There was a Jamaican team, there was an Indian team, there was an English team. It was madness. And I was like, wow, this is brilliant. Anyway, listen.
It's no Lords, but it's something.
No, but I think it's wonderful. I mean, I when I was there, I used to play football in something called the Urban Soccer League, so I love it. It's great. So listen, what's your favorite time of day?
After 9 p.m. at night.
Okay. You start to think better then, or you start to just be creative?
I put my concentration music and then I start doing my work.
Okay.
So the best time of day for me.
Yeah. And what makes you angry?
Professionally, speaking out of context, Personally, my wife will tell you cleanliness. If my kids are not clean, there are things lying around in the
Ooh.
house, I get so angry.
So you're
Yeah.
OCD.
That's what she says. Yes,
Yeah.
I can't speak for myself, but that's what she says.
what would you what would you say is your best trait?
Passion.
Okay. Yep. I could hear that. What are you most excited about these days?
I'm not kidding when I say this. AI is an overused word at this point,
Yep.
but how much AI is actually influencing our daily lives. As something as simple as you're going to Gmail, you're typing something, Gmail auto populates it. You don't realize it's a lot of machine learning in the back end, right?
Yep.
You just do it. So I'm seeing the infiltration of AI and machine learning in your daily lives.
Yep.
You just don't know it, but it's happening regardless.
Yep. No, absolutely true. So what's the best compliment you've ever received?
I told you my strength is passion. Not once, but many times I've heard people say when you speak about a topic that you're passionate about, the passion actually shows in your face and your voice.
Yeah.
So that is a compliment I'm most happy about
Right.
because then I know I've done my job.
Yep. Yep. And when are you most inspired?
I'm inspired by innovation. I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very innovative when it comes to building stuff, but
Right.
I'm inspired by the Elon Musk, the Steve Jobs of the
Uh-huh.
world when
Yeah.
they come up with things that's going to be changing the world forever. You don't
Yep.
see it as a daily person, right? As an average person, but they are building incremental capabilities that's
Yeah.
changing the way you live.
Yep.
So
They've
I'm
got
most
that
excited
vision.
about those.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Right.
what makes you smile the most?
Um, my kids
Yeah.
giving back dad jokes. I think that makes me smile the most.
Oh, brilliant.
And I think kids make me smile the most.
Yeah.
Other than that, if I see a chief, professionally speaking, if I see a chief data officer that is actually really able to tell that data story,
Yeah.
that makes me smile because he or she knows what they're talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we can see that passion on the other side as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me excited the most,
Cool. Cool.
professionally.
What's the one thing that people don't know about you? Apart
Uh,
from the cricket and apart from the OCD or possible OCD,
possible OCD.
but you must always listen to your wife.
Yeah, I think that OCD is what they don't know about me.
Well, they do now.
Yeah, exactly. But when
So,
I go to a meeting room, this is pre-COVID.
yeah.
My table has to be clean. Where I go to my client spot, my bottle has to be in a place. It's not,
Wow.
yeah, it's
Very
not that
specific.
extreme. Very specific.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know why. I mean, just happens.
It's
So
just a very well ordered kind of chap, I
yeah,
guess.
I'm
Right?
not very excited to go into a chaos. I would love to go a professional chaos and kind of untangle it,
Right. Untangle it. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
personally, things have to be certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe when you're
So
going into a meeting, you need clarity. So you need that space to be clear, perhaps. Could be that.
right,
That's what you should tell your
absolutely.
wife next. So, what makes you feel most like yourself?
um, when I'm in a room full of practitioners
Mm-hmm.
speaking the same data language, showing the same passion as I am,
Yep.
that makes me feel like I'm in the middle of people like me. I'm not
Okay.
saying like-minded. I'm
Yes.
saying like me from a character perspective, right?
Yep.
From a
Yep.
personality perspective.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
feel most comfortable there. And that applies in personal setting too. So one thing about me when I get triggered in a topic which I'm passionate about, personal or professional, the passion shows,
Sure.
right? And when I see people like that who are animated, it,
You
it makes me feel at home.
you navigate towards them.
Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at you. You're showing actions as you speak. You're laughing, you're
I'm
smiling,
always like
so
that.
that excitement is
Yeah.
there in
Yeah.
the voice and the
Yeah.
action.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's me.
I mean, it's hard to
Yeah.
find people like
Yeah.
that.
It's true. It's true. So tell me, what are the three things that you can't live without?
Coffee,
Okay.
Um, whiteboard or notes. I'm
Oh,
still
right.
not used to
Okay.
taking digital notes
Yeah, yeah. Same here.
100%,
Same here.
Uh, food.
Okay. There's
And
nothing wrong with that.
there's a
Oh,
specific type of food I
go on.
like.
What kind of
Um,
food?
it's called biryani. It's an
Oh,
Indian food.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every
And so,
Friday, it's a
oh,
habit for me to go eat
uh-huh.
biryani from a certain place every
Okay.
Friday. And I get
Nice.
depressed if I don't.
And what kind of biryani?
It's called a chicken biryani,
Uh-huh.
a
Uh-huh.
specific type of biryani in
Okay.
chicken. It's called Hyderabadi chicken biryani.
Very
So,
nice. Very nice. So
yep,
Friday it is. It's going to happen tonight. Hey?
today,
That's why you're so
Yes,
happy.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yes,
So
absolutely.
what's your current, or do you have one? Do you have a current TV character obsession?
Um, I've been watching Doom Patrol. I don't know if you know them. So I'm a big
Doom
Marvel
Patrol.
DC
Okay.
Comics kind of
Yeah, yeah.
guy, right?
Oh, Doom
Uh,
Patrol. Yes, yes. I
Doom
think
Patrol,
yeah, but I haven't seen it.
DC,
Yeah,
DC.
DC.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
the most favorite character of mine is Iron Man
Oh,
because
love it.
of his audacity and because of his the calm and cool character, So
Yes.
I like
Yes.
those kind of people.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Confident, calm, and cool.
Yeah, yeah, nice. And what's the most adventurous thing you've done in your life?
So the one thing I will never forget is that 2 years ago we went, and this is my 5-year-old, my 10-year-old, and then me and my wife
Right.
going 14,000 feet to
Okay.
Mount Evans,
Wow.
and he
Which
was
mount?
3 years
Mount
back
what?
then.
Mount what?
Mount Evans,
Evans.
Evans,
Where's that?
Mount Evans in Colorado.
Uh-huh.
It's
Okay.
it's a peak. Now that's not it. We went all the way up, and then it started throwing snowballs the
Oh
size of a
my
tennis ball.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
I've got a 3 year
Wow.
old who
Wow.
is hiding under my leg, and
Oh
I
my
have an 8 year
goodness.
old who's behind me, and I'm like this, and there's snowballs hitting my back. We're at 14,000 feet.
Jeez.
Yeah, we
That's
got stuck
crazy.
there.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Were you the only ones up there or were there other people with you?
we were the only stupid ones out there. Sorry for the
Oh
French,
God.
but everybody around us were experienced hikers. They were all
Uh-huh.
prepared.
Okay,
We
you
were
are.
totally
So you are.
unprepared.
So you're very good and you know what to do. And you obviously knew how to get down, which is great.
Right, right.
How would you define yourself in 3 words?
Passionate, uh, happy, and know your subject. I know that's not 3 words, but I don't know how
Okay.
else to put it.
All right. So yeah. Okay, fine. What's your most overused topic or sorry, overused phrase?
Overused phrase. I don't know. Be yourself.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Good.
I,
That's
I've
fine.
never really thought about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a funny one, isn't it? Somebody will tell you
It's a
though.
funny.
You go and ask your wife, "Do I use a phrase? Oh, overuse a phrase?" And she'll tell you immediately. What's what's inspiring you in life right now?
Professionally, how AI is changing the world,
Yep.
right? Again, AI is an overused term. I'm not talking about the big picture. I'm talking about little things that you see daily.
Yep.
Um, Personally, my wife and I were making some phenomenal financial decisions.
Okay.
I get inspired by that.
That's cool. Very nice. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Never lose my passion about whatever I'm into.
Yeah.
Because many people have seen me for who I am, they've given me that advice. I've had very very good friends and mentors.
Yep.
They've all said the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. What's your pet peeve?
Um, know your subject matter. Prepare very 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 well for
Okay.
anything you
Anything.
go into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very wise. And do you remember the moment that your career completely changed?
Um, when I started doing a lot of this strategy work 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
this is when I started thinking about the art of the possible, the value of data, all those things that we talk about every day, Samir,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I've really started to understand that. So I think that really made me change my career as a strategist.
Okay.
Uh,
And
because before then I never had the opportunity.
okay, that's what I was going to ask you. What was it before then? Were you more technically motivated or? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was not necessarily technically motivated. I was put into a technical position, if you will.
Okay. I got you. So here's the thing. I can see you got your headphones on. What's heavily played on your music playlist right now?
Concentration music.
Oh, concentration music. Okay. Like very calming type music.
Very calming.
You,
What I like the most, I don't know
yeah.
if you've heard Sirius XM.
No,
So
no.
Sirius XM is a radio service here in the US.
Okay. Okay.
And it plays
Oh, Sirius.
24/7.
CIR. Yes, 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 yes. I've heard
Yeah,
of them. Yeah, yeah.
SIRIUS,
Oh,
Sirius XM.
SIR. I thought it was okay.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
So it's a radio service here in the US. In that, there's a channel called Chill.
All right.
So they play a lot of
Just
chill music out there. That is one of my favorite
Nice.
music.
Nice. Okay. And you
Exactly.
don't have a favorite band or anything like that.
Metallica.
Oh, Metallica. So you're a headbanger. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, once upon a time. Once upon a
Amazing.
time, it was Metallica.
What, long hair
Yep.
as well?
A little bit of beard, not
Yeah.
long hair. But you know, I never had long hair. It never grew on me.
Right.
But you're a musician, aren't you?
Wow.
You
Yes.
play band, right?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah. Yeah. But this
Yeah.
isn't about me. This is about you.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
So
But
tell
yeah,
me,
Metallica.
that's cool. So what three things are at the top of your bucket list?
I don't know if you know Machu Picchu
Yes, I
in
do.
Peru.
Yeah, yeah.
So going there is one of my bucket lists. Going to Kenya for a safari, that
Yeah.
is absolutely my bucket list.
Yeah, you must do it.
And then learning to play guitar is one of my bucket
Isn't
lists.
that funny? Lots of people say that. Have you
It's
tried or not?
yeah, I have. I have.
And what happened?
It never picked up. I want to try it again. I've tried it for
Okay.
3 months. It never really got into me.
Did you have a
I don't know
teacher?
why.
Do you have a teacher or you just try and teach yourself?
I did have a mentor, a teacher. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. It just didn't
I
work.
did have a teacher. Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you have a guilty pleasure?
Chocolates.
What
So,
was the last book that you finished reading?
guilty pleasure when I go. Reader, Samir?
Yeah,
It
I'm there.
was
I'm here.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I think we just had a time lag. Yeah. So what's the book that you most recently finished reading?
The data storytelling with Scott Taylor.
Okay, cool. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Do not do electrical engineering in your bachelor's. Don't
Okay,
waste your time.
That's very valid. That's very valid. If you could switch lives with one person for a day, who would it be?
Elon Musk.
What's the one thing you've always wanted to try, but you've been too scared to do?
Scuba diving.
Okay. What's the most ridiculous fact that you know?
I don't know ridiculous facts. If I do, it's adult rated, so I can't share that with.
It'll have to be a different podcast.
Exactly.
If you could resurrect one person from history and put them in the world today, who would it be?
Steve Jobs.
Why?
I mean, he changed the experience revolution. He changed how customers think about themselves. You remember what Ford said? He said, if I were to ask my customers what they want, they would say they need a faster horse. That's how he invented the car,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And Steve Jobs did that same thing with how he thinks about customer experience, how he thinks about mobile phones, right?
Yep.
So
Yep. And design and so
godfather.
on. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. What's the one thing you wish you knew at the age of 19?
Invest,
Yeah.
learn how to invest in the
Uh-huh.
right things.
Yep.
I wish I had invested in anything,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's not late now.
Yeah. Yeah. You can still do it. Yeah. If you weren't living in the US, where would you be living?
If there's enough money, I
Yeah.
would go to Maldives.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Very
I would
nice. Well,
live there. That is one of my bucket lists.
well, maybe one of those investments will pay off, eh?
I hope so. I hope so.
I- if you could offer uh, one piece of advice to upcoming data leaders, what would it be?
Understand your business context and learn to speak the data language in the context. It is very easy to say, lots of books talks about it, but it is not something that is a textbook material.
Yeah.
You got to customize it to the industry you work for, the company you work for. Very hard to do, but learn that art.
Yep.
It's
That
not just
is
a science.
very true. Very true. What's the best vacation you've ever taken?
Uh, so I went to Singapore and Malaysia when I
Mm-hmm.
was a student,
Okay.
right? I
Yep.
went there for 3 days.
Wow, that was a bit quick.
That is one of the best vacations because I didn't have enough. Well, it was, there was not enough money, yet a lot of guilty pleasure. So that was a different vacation for me.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that offline then. What's the one city you've
Another podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like it. What's the one city you've always dreamed of traveling to?
City. It might be. I don't know if Machu Picchu is a city,
Probably
but I
not,
think
but it's a
right.
place. Yeah, I don't know if
Uh,
it's a city actually.
maybe I don't know. Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. Yeah,
Colombia.
Bogota. Yeah, very
Yep.
nice place. Very nice
Yep.
place. What was the best lesson your parents ever taught you?
Be yourself, no matter what happens.
Yep. Yep.
I think it's hard. There are times where you don't want to be yourself. You want to be somebody else, but don't do that.
Yeah.
Just continue.
Yeah.
Roll with the flow.
And do you have any favorite podcasts that you listen to?
I listen. So specifically, I'll give you four. I listen
Yep.
to this almost religiously, right? So there's the Data Chief
Yep.
by Cindy,
Yep.
right? There's the Future of Business by
Yep.
Bernard Marr.
Okay.
There's the AI Consulting Podcast by
Yep.
Dan Fagella. And then there's the CXO Talk by Michael Krigsman, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Those
There's
are
a
the
couple.
ones. And then Samir, I wanted to give a shout out to you. You do have a very
You
good
don't
data
need
strategy
to.
podcast,
You don't need
but
to.
you know, yeah,
Dude, be real. That's it. It's actually good for me as well.
I know.
I get to learn what are the other good ones that are good to listen to. So tell me,
Right.
what's a movie that's made you cry?
But those are the four I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
None.
None?
I've never had I've never had a movie made me cry. No.
No? Okay. All right. You're made of tougher
I'm not
stuff.
that guy, man. It- Nothing made me cry.
Okay.
Have
That's
you
cool.
watched the movie A Dog's Journey?
No.
Okay, that it didn't make me cry. It made me feel emotional. It didn't make me cry.
You can tell me it's okay, even if there was one drop.
Little drop on the side. Sure, sure, sure. No, unfortunately not.
What's the one talent you wish you had?
On the contrary of people's belief, I'm not that technical.
Okay.
I would love to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a talent I wish I can. Meaning, can I create a mobile app?
Yes.
Can I create a user interface? That
Yes.
kind of talent. I really wish I had that in me.
I two peas out of the same pod. It's
Yeah.
so bizarre. I also wish I had that as well. But what would you say? I mean, look, we're both in gym clothes. You know, what's your favorite exercise?
I run a lot. I get depressed if I don't run 4 miles a day.
Oh wow,
That is a real fact. That's not a
4 miles a
that's
day.
not
Wow,
a meta.
wow.
4 miles. Yep. So I have to do that every day.
Yeah.
I boxed a lot
Okay.
before COVID.
Yeah.
So I do
Yep.
a lot of boxing, right?
Yep.
Those are my two favorite exercises.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Keeps you good cardio. And then, I mean, the boxing is very difficult. That's a tough one. That's really, really quite tough.
15 years.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I won't get in the ring with you. So what's what's the one data trend that you dislike?
I guess dislike is a big word. Overrated is what I would say,
Yep.
which is basically this data monetization. I know there's a talks of that, but there's no
Yep.
specifics as to what it is. Doug Laney talks about it very specifically, the economic values and the
Yep.
templates he uses.
Yep.
But there's a lot of data leaders out there who speak about it. They really don't know what that means.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
it's overused.
Yeah. 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 Okay. I know that you love Marvel. So what's a superpower you wish you had?
Flying.
Everybody says flying.
It's hard to beat that, man. What's next? Tech gadgets like Iron Man? Sure.
I have no
I'll take that.
idea. I don't know. Being invisible, you know. I don't know. So listen, what's something you don't want to be doing in 10 years' time?
I want to be a leader.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing today that I don't want to be doing. I want to continue what I'm doing today, 10 years from now. I'm passionate about it.
Okay, great. So apart from the electrical engineering.
Hard question.
Yeah, that is a tough one. Yeah, even for me. So apart from the electrical engineering, looking back on your life, is there anything that you would have done differently?
I would have started my career somehow. AI was a term 20 years ago, 25 years ago, right?
Yep.
If I had a chance to start early, I would have loved to.
Right.
I would have loved to start my career as a data scientist.
Yeah.
And then evolve over time.
Yep.
Never happened, but that would have been one thing I would have changed.
Yeah. And do you think you would ever think of trying that on the side and attempting to become a data scientist?
I do that now. So the difference, Samir, is that nowadays you don't need to be a code writer to be a data scientist, right?
No, you don't.
There are libraries out there you can download, you can use, whether it's a churn analysis or forecasting, or all these models are out there.
Yeah.
You can just go download it from GitHub and start socializing and throw a bunch of data at it. You'll get the results.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. True.
So I'm now passionate about finding insights, less about actually writing code, if you will.
Yes, because that's.
Can you tell me a story? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the holy grail, really, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Code writing is no longer that important.
True. And so, what's the best thing that ever happened to you this year?
Hitting an 82 in my cricket.
All right. Okay. Well, I tell you what, that's brilliant.
That is important, man.
Yeah. And tell me, did that ultimately end in winning a cup or something like that, or are you guys in a
winning the game?
Winning the game. Okay. Perfect. Nice.
Yep.
Now back to movies for a moment. What movies make you laugh the hardest, or what movie makes you laugh the hardest?
So I go back in time. I grew up with 101 Dalmatians, not the older ones, right? Not the new ones. The cartoon, the movie. I grew up with Jungle Book. I grew up with Mary Poppins.
Yep.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yep.
Those are all the movies that makes me happy. Most.
All right. Cool. Do you believe?
I hope you know these movies.
Of course I do. I'm probably much older than you, Arvind. So don't worry.
Fair enough.
Do you believe in second chances?
Yes, I do.
What would you say, apart from being passionate, is another great talent that you've got?
Being relevant.
Okay.
So I don't speak around the topic. I speak for the topic or on the topic.
Cool. Now, what 3 words would best describe your leadership style?
Empowering, being that subject matter support or subject matter.
Yep.
Friendly.
Cool. Okay. And within what you do right now, and I know that you've got clients, what would you say are the top 3 data challenges that you see day to day?
Unified data platform. So everybody has disparate data. It's been a problem
Yep.
100 years ago. It's been a
Oh,
problem
yeah.
now,
Yep.
right? That's the number one challenge. How do I unify the data?
Yep.
The number 2 is data sharing.
Yeah.
Some people say governance is the answer to that. But essentially not just for the external parties, but even within the internal parties, how do I share the data?
Yeah.
And number 3, I think, even though I called it number 3, it is the most important topic, is data privacy and security.
Okay.
That
All
seems
right.
to be absolutely critical for all
Yeah.
my clients.
Oh, wow. Okay. What 3 words would you describe living in the US?
Independent, opportunistic, I guess trying out.
Okay.
Try before you buy.
Just trying. Okay. Yeah.
You can try different things. It gives you the flexibility to do so.
Yes, to do so. Yeah.
There's enough
Okay.
opportunities out there.
All right. Cool. I like
You know.
that. So what's the one thing that you had to learn the hard way?
Hard way, my professional career. So I was really going down in multiple paths about 10 years ago. I wasn't
Right.
very clear where my path is.
Yep.
Data, analytics, technology. I was going in all different directions.
Uh-huh.
I think that experimentation, going in different directions, taking different jobs, doing different things, allowed me to focus. But it was not until 5 years ago I wasn't clear what my career path is going to be.
Right. Okay. So and how did you absolutely make that decision then? That's what I'm interested about. What made you say that's the thing?
I think telling story about data started when I became a strategist 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Since then, I've been doing it over and over. And every time when I do it, there's a new problem I'm trying to tackle. There's a new answer I'm
Right.
trying to determine.
Yep.
That passion takes over.
Yep.
Anytime when you're passionate about a topic and you know the subject matter, you know that that's the job for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So
I agree with you. Yeah.
it's not one moment that
No.
led me to believe that. It's
Yep.
multiple moments
Yes.
that got
That
me there.
make up that
Exactly.
epiphany. Yeah.
Exactly.
How do you handle pressure in your career?
I take a step back and I start to whiteboard and I start to craft an answer. Again, it doesn't happen in one day, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the type of pressure, I have to take a step back. I have to think about the bigger picture. I have to draw in my head and in my whiteboard what that is.
Yep.
And then I possibly come back with an answer. But the answer doesn't happen by myself. The answer happens
Sure.
by discussing with my team all the
Yep.
time.
Yep. True. What did you want to do with your life at the age of 12?
I wanted to be a musician.
Okay, back to the guitar. Was it guitar at that
Well,
time?
actually, I don't know if you know, there's an Indian. No, there's an Indian instrument called mridangam. It's like a drum,
Yes, I
right?
know it. Yes.
So
Yes.
I've been mastering mridangam since the age of 8 for a long time. Right.
Wow.
So yeah, I wanted to do Carnatic music, which is
Yeah.
an Indian traditional music.
Yeah. And that sits in that rests on your lap, or is it?
Yes.
Are you kneeling?
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
And
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you sit down, you do a crisscross, and then you
Yes.
put the instrument on
Yeah,
your lap,
on your lap.
and you play like
Okay.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So
By
my
the way, that's not a lot of people know that about me. So
well, there you go.
Thank you for bringing
There you
that
go.
memory back
That's
to me.
one thing. You are a drummer at heart, a passionate drummer. So listen, my final
Thank you.
question to you. What's something that you still like to learn?
AI is an evolving field. There's still a lot to learn about it.
Yep.
I would like to learn. So, Samir, I look at a new generation of people popping up called Gen Data. I write
Yep.
about it all the time, right?
Mhm.
These people are born and brought up. My son is very comfortable using Facebook,
Yep.
right? So that new generation who are okay to use data for their living, what would the AI look like for them? Not for us, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
new generation that's popping up.
Yep.
And what does augmented reality and virtual reality feel for them? How do they take it? Because
Mhm.
it's no longer some fancy looking object. It's a real thing now,
No, it's a real thing.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So what does AR and VR, how does it influence that newer generation? That's something I'm looking forward to.
That sounds really cool. Well, look,
Yep.
Arvind Murali, thank you so much for coming on to 66 Questions, Data Leaders Unplugged. And we are so happy to unplug you. Have a great day. And thank you once again.
Hey, thank you for triggering a lot of these ad hoc thoughts in me. I
That's
really
okay.
appreciate it. This is
That's
yeah.
cool.
This is
It's
go
a
back and
pleasure.
look in time for me. So thank you.
Hey, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much. Cheers.
Yeah.